Hey, welcome back to Turnover Ranch. This video is really exciting for us and is going down in our history for Turnover Ranch as well as the US, because this rock barn is not only special to us, but it is the largest rock barn in the US and Google tells us possibly the world. We're still doing research on it as we're new here, but this is super exciting to be able to preserve this place and work around this space. And we're excited to share with you today the whole process from beginning to end of restoring the roof on this historic rock barn. Here we have lumber delivered and we're about ready to get this project rolling. It's been quite the adventure since we've moved here, and if you haven't been following along our story, we'd love it if you jumped back a few videos on our YouTube page and checked out some videos from before. It will kind of show you our journey and what we've been through so far, and some plans, some dreams, some hopes for the future. But for now, let's go ahead and jump in here. These are the gutters that will be going on the barn. They're pretty massive. They were custom made to match the previous gutter system that was on the barn. We are pretty excited. In the future, we have hopes of collecting the rainwater, being able to recycle it for our animals, and possibly for our home as well. We'll see where all that leads. If you're interested in all of that type of stuff, stay tuned. We will definitely show you when we get our water system put in, holding tanks and all of that, but that'll be down the road in a bit. Stetson sure enjoyed having all the big equipment around, taking a few rides with Cody and figuring out these lifts. That was pretty fun for him. But I just want to explain a little bit what this crew had to go through. This was no regular barn project, you guys. Big old shout out to ADC Construction. They knocked it out of the park. This was a trial and error project. I guess I'll just call it that, because nothing really went as planned, I don't think. They were very good to work with because everything kind of needed improvising. Having such an old structure, it made it really challenging to put the new roof on and have it all decently straight and working and looking well. So to begin with, just getting the old metal off was a chore. The nails were not only hand drove in when they did this project years ago, but they bent the nails over on the bottom side, making it pretty difficult for them to pull the nails out. So they at first were trying to just pop the metal by yanking it off. That was definitely not going to work. They tried grinding the nails, like from the top, just grinding all the heads off and then trying to pull the metal off. We decided not to do that because the old wood wanted to start on fire underneath. Definitely not doing that route. So trial and error. It took a couple of days to get rolling, but this crew didn't give up. It was not an easy project. They worked through the summer and many days in 100+ heat. So we're really grateful for their work and their persistence to get this job done. Just getting the old metal off was super challenging. And then not to mention putting in new boards where there was rotten ones underneath and then getting the metal up on. The way the metal came in, the long sheets, we were hoping to make two sheets to make it over to the top so it would have one overlap. But the way the old roof is, there's nothing straight to it. So if you know anything about building and you need to get your very first piece of metal completely square so that you'll have a straight line for the rest of your roof, by the time you make it down a couple of sheets, it started to curve because this barn roof is not straight. All of the purlins and everything go up and down, in and out. It has warping and all like that because it's nearing 100 years old and has had a lot of use and wear and tear over the years. So it was very interesting for them to try and figure out how to get the metal on and make it look semi-straight and square. So we ended up cutting it in several places and making it overlap more like the original roof. I'm not exactly sure. Took like 4 or 5 panels maybe of metal to make it up to the top. It was a little bit of trial and error, and you can see here in some of the videos where the metal steps down a bit. When it overlaps, that gets covered up, so it's not a big deal. But that was definitely not a builder mistake. If you're a builder and looking at this, that is part of what we had to do to make all of this work. A super unique situation. It was also very challenging for them because after they got up from this first bottom section where it was semi-flat and walkable, everything had to be done off of a lift. So pretty non-efficient as far as it takes a lot of time putting the lift up and down every day, every hour, putting the wood up there, lifting guys up there, throwing the old metal down, getting new metal up. Yeah, lots of work, very time consuming, very tedious. But let me tell you, this crew didn't give up, and we're sure grateful for them. There were 6 guys on this crew, and they just knocked it out. So if you're looking for any help on your barn, on your roofs, driveway, they do other construction work, metal buildings, like small greenhouses. We highly recommend working with ADC Construction. At the end of this video, we'll show you a little bit of his information if you would like to get in touch, but a little shout out to this crew. We highly recommend working with them. A little bit of history on this barn. It was built in 1941 by Mr. Schultz. A few years later, it was sold to Byron Neal and his family, who ran cattle through here, is what we've heard. It was originally built by some German masons. Mr. Schultz had some German connections, and it took a little over 4 years for them to build this place. All the rocks were hand collected off of the land surrounding the area. So it's very unique rock. None of it matches, and it is placed so well. If you look carefully on the front of the barn, there's both a diamond and a heart shape in the center. It is just beautiful. There's keystones above and around the windows. The walls stand 55 feet tall and are made of the local sandstone rock. There's pillars. You can see the 2 here on the front. Inside, they're offset, and there's 2 more on the back. It's designed the same. So there's 4 pillars total, 2 inside, 2 outside, front and back. And we understand that these pillars go 16 feet into the ground. That's what holds these walls. That is why this place has withstood time and will stand for time to come. This barn was built with so much integrity. It is absolutely beautiful. The truss skeleton is made with pine and hemlock fir wood. That is what is under the metal here. We have been told that this barn can store up to 60,000 square bales of hay. In 2020, this barn was listed with the National Register for Historic Places. In 2008, there was an article written in the National Geographic. I will link in the description box below several articles if you are interested in reading more about it. The National Geographic titled it "The Prairies Cathedral." This place is no doubt a landmark in Noble County. Thank you to ADC Construction for letting us use the lifts on the weekend. We took advantage of it, hung a few flags up, and Cody cleaned off the front wall, which was full of mud dauber nest. We really appreciate them letting us use this equipment to clean up and decorate the inside of the barn. We were also able to add some lights, and just a bit we will show you that will make an astronomical difference come winter months when the days are short and horses still need to be worked. We're super grateful for the opportunity to have these lifts here and to be able to get these big projects done. This roof structure is over 20,000 square feet. To say we have a large pile of used metal is a little bit of an understatement. We now have this metal listed on Facebook Marketplace. If you're interested, please let us know through Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or email. We have metal in abundance. As you can see, this would make great decoration for inside if you're trying to redo ceilings, walls, or old furniture. There's endless possibilities of how you could reuse, decorate, and repurpose this. A little over halfway through the roof project, we needed a bit more lumber, so lumber delivery day it was. Again, thanks to ADC Construction for giving us a hand with this barn roof project. We highly recommend them. They do dirt work, concrete, barns, metal buildings, driveways, and much more. So if you're in need of any construction help around Oklahoma or the surrounding states, they do travel and could give you a hand with your projects. Make sure to contact Abel with ADC Construction. you made it this far through the video, you're one of our detail lovers and followers, so thanks for being here. This metal is super tough to find. This actually came out of Canada. There was one other place that we were able to find it in the US, but it was quite a bit more expensive. So this actually got shipped out of Canada earlier this summer and brought down here. We did have them ship us a trial piece and we tried that out. It's made to work on curved roofs just like this, but we just wanted to double check, so we got a practice piece. It did in fact work, but it's pretty tricky having it curve in and then having it curve out. So it has very small ribs compared to most metal on roofs. So they have to do a sealant tape along each seam in order to make it not leak. So this is quite the tricky process that these guys tackled. And let me tell you, it wasn't easy for them, but we're grateful they stuck with it. And we are just about to wrap this thing up. We're going to close this video out here, and we thank you all so much for being with us, for watching all the way through the end. For those who are invested in our story and who are following along, we greatly appreciate you. We greatly appreciate those who share, those who follow, those who want to share on your social media accounts. Thank you so much for being here with us. It really does mean a lot. We enjoy it when you comment, when you leave us comments on our Instagram, on our Facebook, on our YouTube. And this is basically what it looked like at the end. They did have to button up the gutters and a little bit of trim work, so there's a few minor details that will get straightened out there at the end. But here is the finished product, almost, of the Rock Barn Turnover Ranch's new roof. And there you have it, folks. We post every other Thursday at 7 p.m.